It's Friday. That means it's time for Market Wrap. Our financial expert, Jeff LaBelle, joins us now. And what happened with the markets this week?
Well, not a lot happened today, actually during the week, except the market's been up for 6 straight days, primarily based on not a lot of noise overseas. Back to good earnings, and looking forward to next week. Could be different. We're going to have a slew of economic data that comes out, as well as earnings. No news is good news when it comes out of Europe, and that is exactly what has happened. This week, the S&P rose for a 6th straight day, breaking the 1400 level. The S&P is up 13% year to date. In today's markets, the Dow finished up 42 points to 13,207. The S&P continued its winning streak, closing up 3 points to 1405, while the Nasdaq closed up 2 points to 3020. In headlines, McDonald's, home of the Big Mac, came out with disappointing earnings on Wednesday. Global economic weakness is being blamed for their poor July sales. Net income fell 4% in the second quarter, which drove down the stock from $90 to $86.50. The Dow component has 33,500 restaurants around the world. McDonald's closed today up $1.05 to $88.20. JCPenney reported a $147 million second quarter loss and a revenue slide of 23%. So its shares dropped 12% yesterday. The stock rebounded today, finishing up $1.30 to $23.40. In other news, the world's most popular and valuable sports franchise, Manchester United soccer team, started trading in an IPO at $14 a share under the symbol MANU. MANU raised $140 million to reduce 20% of its outstanding debt. The Glazer family, who also own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, will still control 90% of the stock. The stock closed the day unchanged at $14 a share. In other news, the U.S. trade deficit fell to its lowest levels in 18 months. The trade gap narrowed to $42.9 billion in June from $48 billion in May. Exports rose just under 1% to a record high of $185 billion, while imports fell 1.5% to $227 billion. That's the lowest in 4 months. A thinner trade gap means the United States is spending less on foreign-made products and is taking in more from sales of U.S.-made goods. On the calendar next week, we have over 300 companies reporting earnings, as well as the Fed's Beige Book, consumer prices, and sentiment. A lot happening next week. I will share the numbers. Have a great weekend. I'm Jeff LaBelle.